wake up in the night to a cold sweat and the fear that perhaps I didn't make the right moves yet. To use a waiver, would it be braver to hold out for more and call this God the savior? The 5-4 line, been on the wrong and the right side. When the stats down, you gotta look to the bright side. And when the stats up, you better not slip. 11 other teams just hoping you will trip up. GFL, the greatest in the world, yes. Number 1 pick, you got the world at your doorstep. Taking that trade, it gon' be met with a protest. The profesh poised with the polish of a pro step. Believe the hype. Yeah, fantasy game got me feeling like the spice of life. Give me the spice tonight with Sean Curry and Mike.
We're back, man. Curry Spice is here. What a week. Last week until finals. So much has happened. Did we film last week, Mike?
Yeah, we did, but it was a very quick program.
It just feels like we've got more than we can handle this week. But we're here. Now, starting off, we're going to go through last week's matchups and standings, and the finals are coming up, and everything's just out of control because I don't even know who I'm playing in the finals, Michael. The ladder's shifting every second.
And I'm not playing in the finals, so...
No, you won't be, mate. You're Richmond of the league, lost the last 9 out of the last 10, 1-9. Can you possibly beat Downing this week?
Oh, it's on the cards.
Wow.
I won't say no.
So we'll go through the standings. I think we've got to have a look at the standings first. A different format today with the playoffs coming up. We're just going to do things a bit differently. Joel's got that asterisk. He had to make a post to tell us that he has the asterisk first. He's locked it up. He's done it again. He's done a Port Adelaide here, and he's finished top of the ladder. Will he go on with it?
He's like you said. He's got the best side at the right time. Like you said,
I did say that, didn't I? Yeah. On the Joel interview. If you missed that one, Josh McMillan. If you've missed it, you can find that in the YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Brow Boys.
He's got the asterisk now, and so does Nick.
Nick and Nelson. They're tossing up for second place. 2 categories difference.
And I said in that special, I said that the top 3 was a lock, and it's barring an absolute.
It's a lock.
Yeah, unless.
I beat Joel 9-0. That's
Nick
the equivalent
loses.
of me winning Powerball, I reckon. I don't know why you're laughing, because I reckon that's about the odds of 9-0. So, so I think Joel mentioned last night I could finish 6 if Willow or Toby had a big win and I had a big loss.
How's Willow in the finals? How is he? How is he in the finals? I don't even know.
He had his little strategy, and mind you, make sure you have a strategy. If you don't have a strategy, you're in trouble. Okay,
If you're not prepared to adapt your strategy on the fly when
when things are
happening,
that as well. Gone are the days where you just can pick your best players and hope for the best. Now, Willow's had his strategy for about 10 weeks now, and I remember when I first made a trade with him, he was going towards some strategy, and he's just fucking gone away about his business, and he's popped up at the right time and said, "Hey, it's complete," and just killed everyone.
17-1 over the last 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, he's had a big week, big 2 weeks. So he's right in line. I mean, with that kind of form, you think he's going to storm into finals. And Toby's bounced back with a 7-2.
Well, he had a pretty easy matchup against me with Jimmy Butler going down and all my other all my other people going down. So it's not like he had a.
Your injury strategy hasn't quite worked this year.
No,
Gavin
has not.
Gavin
did not see that coming.
Is Gavin alive?
I've spoken.
I saw him at footy last night.
Yeah,
he's alive.
Yeah,
he's not well.
No,
he's struggling. I spoke about Dwight about 8 weeks ago. Will it cost him? I think it has.
Yeah.
I'm putting this on Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard has done this to you, Gavin.
Well, Gav had a specific strategy.
Yes.
Dwight was in that strategy, so it's because of Dwight fucking up.
Chandler was out at the same time, but Dwight's been out too long. Fuck, what'd he do? He played fucking hopscotch with his son and hurt his knee. He had fucking plasma surgery. What is this? X-Files on his fucking knee, and he's just dead. What has he been abducted? Where is he? He's not even on the Houston bench. Fucking, what a bastard! He's on the do not draft list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next season, do not draft.
Yeah, do not draft.
So
right next to he can fucking take a chair right next to Larry Sanders.
So
shit cunt.
So if Dwight Howard is round 6.
Gone.
And you need a centre.
He can fuck off.
You're not picking him.
He can hit the boardwalk, son.
Round 8.
Don't let the door hit you on the round. Hey.
Round 8.
No, because he averages about round 1 in our league for the last 10 years. So he'd go at least 4 or 5 next year, minimum.
But answer my question. Round 8, you picking him?
I said he's on the do not draft list. I will not take Dwight Howard at round 12. He's on the undraftable list. He can fuck off what he's done to Gavin. Now, death and taxes. He's still in the running. 4-5. But who's he got? It'll come down to who he's got this weekend. I think he's got Nelson.
Let's check that. He's got Nick.
Well, yeah, just as bad. Yeah. So, worse, potentially. So, that's not looking good.
Who would have thought that Luke would be out of the finals?
Yeah, he had to move Durant. He did it, and he got good return for him. But it just... I thought he's playing well, but he's playing the top teams. He's playing good teams at the moment. I think he played Nelson last week, and he's playing Nick this week. He's just playing the top teams at the wrong time of the year.
Did you think he should have offloaded Durant earlier than what he did?
No, because if Durant was fucking Durant, where this year he is not, then Durant couldn't win you a championship off his own belt. MVP Durant can win you a championship off his belt. So it made sense to hold him for as long as possible. And I still think he got very good return for him in the end.
Yeah, he did.
So, and we don't know if Durant, we know when he plays, we know what we're going to get, but we haven't seen an injured Durant before, and we don't know, he's not a Westbrook. He's not a Russell Westbrook as far as I'm going to play with one leg. So, it'll be interesting. Yourself, mate, I said
Richmond.
I said about 9 weeks ago that you'd finish 9th and that you're Richmond.
It looks like it's happening.
This is the one that I might be right on.
Well,
I've got a lot of things, but this could be right.
Well, I could finish 10th if Dan beats me this week. So. Yeah,
but you're trying to beat Dan, so you.
And having said that, I might finish 9 at the end of this week, but consolation finals, I'll probably finish last. So.
Yeah, but we're not covering that. So
that's what it'll say in the history books.
It's not what we'll see on the Spice. We'll only see 9th. We'll only see Richmond. So Downing's 10th, and we're going through Beno's Ballers 11th. A disaster year for Ben
compared to where he was last season, reigning grand finalist.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked. It comes down to the draft and a bit of luck with the injuries. Just didn't work. The upside players, the young players. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he need a bit of luck, and he just hasn't had an inch this year. And Josh, who has closed the gap because he's only a game and a half off Ben.
Yeah,
and he was about 18, 15 games off 11th at one stage of the year.
Yeah,
so he was going that way. So he's caught up quite a fair bit actually since the All-Star break.
And he actually got off the bottom.
We'll be covering Josh's team later. We'll be going through eventually all the teams in a season review kind of format.
Yeah.
We'll spend just under 10 minutes on Josh today, just going through him. We'll just go through Josh today.
Yeah. Should we go through the matchups or go through Josh straight away?
Let's go through the matchups first. Let's look at last week and what happened and how that's going to affect this week in fantasy. So you've lost 7-2, Michael. That's it for you. You just got to waltz through this week and hopefully get some pride back off Dan.
Yeah.
I won't be, as we've spoken before, I won't go too much into the players. Yeah, maybe every now and then, but a very close week. I mean, you're
steals by 1.
You've lost by 1, and you've won field goal by a shot.
Lost threes by 3.
And points by 13. So you weren't too far off the pace against Toby there to swing that matchup, but. Yeah, it's very hard to win all the close categories
Well, look at all my dregs on my team. It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go to the next matchup.
Wow. No love for Toby.
Anyone that plays me now, they get no love. It's just a waste of time talking about the matchup.
Yeah. Now, Joel's team Did Nick win?
That's what it said. Hang on. Are we in
this?
Yeah. Yep.
Nick won.
Yep.
So his streak's alive.
His streak is alive.
So Joel obviously didn't have Durant, but that's a great win for Nick. And
he's picked up Jimmy Butler. That's a fucking ballsy move, considering he's going to be out for 6 weeks.
Nick's been trying to just give me something to hold. I'm a top team now.
Just give me someone to hold, just in case there's some change around where he comes back early.
Jimmy Butler. Just give me a player to hold, which is fine. No, he's doing well. I mean, look at that. Joel's won steals by 1, so it could have been 6-3, but then Nick's won assists by 3.
Could have been worse if he didn't have Jeremy Lin's 9 steals. Might drop him and then he turns to...
Yeah, story of your year, Smith.
Pretty much.
Yeah, every player you drop turns to gold.
Draymond Green. Have you heard what he's come out and said?
No.
That he thinks that he should get Defensive Player of the Year.
Fair enough, yeah.
I reckon he's on par.
He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, having a look, Nick will go as far as Russell Westbrook will take him. So,
look at those numbers.
If Russell Westbrook keeps going, playing that good, then Nick's gonna, continue to dominate. We'll go to the next matchup, mate. Obviously, that's a congratulations to Nick, who extends his winning streak to 15, I believe. So he'll have a chance to make that 16. And what an enjoyable season it must have been for Nick this year. Especially
to where he was at the start of the season.
It looked like it was going to be a bit like last year.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I'm not coming up.
Yeah, give us something, mate. So
hold on. It's pooed its pants.
Michael's just had double leakage. Yeah, Nick's really done well this year. Could be GM of the year.
You reckon?
Yeah.
There'll be a vote?
Well, he's got waiver of the year in Whiteside. Westbrook's just been phenomenal for him.
Why is it not working?
We had a bit of
technical difficulties with Yahoo going down.
It's not very often that the actual Yahoo server goes down while we're
recording
on air, so we're sorry about that. So moving on to the next matchup, and we had
Luke and
Nelson. Yeah,
and it was a 5-4, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty important. This one, Luke really needed to
get a W,
to get the win here, and unfortunately, he's playing Nelson, who got Anthony Davis back, and Anthony Davis in his first game back had something like 38 points, 8 blocks, all the works. He just had fireworks.
He went crazy, didn't he, Davis?
Yeah. So Luke was a bit unfortunate there to lose. He probably would have had the win if Davis had have missed a game more or just not exploded.
We're back. Yahoo's back. That was a quick...
That's fantastic, mate.
That was a quick... That was a quick turnaround.
It was a good turnaround. Now, Nelson needed that win because he'd been on a bit of a cold streak form-wise, but he's starting to get all his players together now, and it's all coming together for him this week. So on that, we're going to move to the next matchup. We're going to go to Monsters Inc., who died this week. Zero categories. Can Nick tell me the last time there was a 9-0? Because I don't know.
I don't know either. Has there ever been in this league? And we know when Gav's funeral is.
Gavin, it's a very sad way to end the year, the end of your season.
Was he in the finals before this week?
Yes. Mate, he's lost 9-0. He was in the finals. He'd be in right now if he had got a 5-4 loss.
Or even a 3-6.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, for Gavin, but he's not out of it statistically. He needs a big win this week somehow. But yeah. Now Willow's a team that everyone's talking about. And I think Willow's probably right up there as far as #1 subscriber to our YouTube channel. So
the only cat that was really close was Blocks.
Yeah, no.
And when you look at it, when you talk about Dwight Howard, he could have got you 4 blocks.
Yeah. And now with Willow, like the hottest product coming out of town right now he's won a lot of games recently, and he's had big wins. So he's able to blow teams out. He's got a nice strategy his team doesn't turn over the ball much, with a nice high field goal percentage, rebounds well, blocks well, steals well, competitive in assists, competitive in threes and points. So he's got a nice all-round team. And with Millsap and Leonard on his side having big weeks, you got your nice steal specialists there. He's done well with. He brought in Tim Duncan, who had. I think he was the first game that he's missed. He hasn't made a field goal in 1,000 games, but hope Duncan, obviously with the blocks and rebounds, should help him out there. So
as well as the 10 assists that he got.
So it looks like, in a nutshell, Michael, Willow's going to be playing finals, and it's a matter of whether he's playing 6th or 5th position from batting from there.
Yeah.
So do you reckon the finals are set? Obviously, it can go either way. I mean, even Luke and Gavin have a chance to make it in. But do you think Toby and Willow, it's theirs to lose? And, a big loss to myself, and potentially one could take 4th as well.
I reckon the final 6 is a lock. Who have you got this week?
Joel.
I reckon finals are a lock. Standings, as they are a lock.
Yep.
I'm calling it now.
It's 3.5 categories, so Joel would have to probably beat me 6-3. And then if Willow wins 7-2, it would probably
swing.
Yeah, that would swing it, yeah. Well, it's 3.5 categories.
But if Joel, like we said, is Joel at the last day of the matchup trying to push for a 6-3 win? Probably not.
Joel's got the week off. Durant's, I think Joel just has a couple of. I think he's in Fiji.
Is he?
Yeah, he's coming back when the business end. He doesn't really need much really for Joel over the next 2 weeks.
Having said that, looking at Gav's team on paper this week, he actually hasn't had a too bad of a week with some of his players.
Just too many injuries. I mean, Nick Young, Kyle Korver's had a shocking week for him.
Yeah, after he beats against me.
Tyson Chandler missed a game or 2. Dwight Howard hasn't played for about 6 weeks. Cardwell Pope, didn't hit a 3 for him this week.
Didn't hit a 3, so, hit 6 against me to fucking.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked out for him, and it's your ultimate worst way to go out, and it's looking like that now. I mean, a 9-0 with only 1 week left, it's very hard to recover
from that.
I mean, that a 9-0, it's a 2 to 3 week job to recover from.
Yeah.
Category-wise. So he's running on luck here. He needs some kind of random big win, and he needs results to go his way as well. All right, we're getting down to the bottom end. 11th played 10th, and Downing beat Ben, and I think we both picked Downing.
We did.
So, Downing scored 703 points. So he's had a bit of 321 rebounds, 37 blocks. 47 steals, so down 48% field goal. Damon's had a good week.
The steals were pretty close. Only won by 4. Block Cat could have switched gone down. I think
6-3 is a result.
So yeah,
Downing's had a really good week, as noted.
You've got to love Reggie Jackson at Detroit with no Brandon Jennings.
Got to love how Fareed comes good at the after the All-Star break, and away he goes.
Rudy Gay, really good week.
Go Birds, been the catalyst. Great pick-up by Dan. In limited way the moves, that's probably, that's really been a top.
Look at that solid week from Pierce. How many games did he do those stats in?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
All right, so, we've already touched on Ben, and we won't touch on the players anymore, just other than Andre Drummond's been a complete and utter disappointment this year.
From where he was picked.
Yeah, from where he was slated to improve as well. We're going to move on to the last matchup. So, the last one was myself and Josh. Josh got the win on the last day by 4 steals. Came down to the steal category or turnovers. yeah, Josh was decent, pretty good side. I mean, I've really traded and wavered my way for the next few weeks. So, like, dropping players and losing
You're
games.
moulding your team for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if you see a good free agent that may only have one game for this matchup, but you know that he's got 4 next week and he's a solid future add, you add him now.
Yeah, drop
regardless of the situation.
1 or 2 players during the week, especially in the last day, where I could have had the game play on the Monday, but just dropped him for Tyler Johnson, who was playing well. So, but Josh definitely, did well and got all those steals on the last day to take it. Another thing was I was a bit lazy. I should have just benched everyone, done my old bench tactic, and I would have taken turnovers and won. So it's a little bit of a lazy week for me.
Looking at Josh's team right now, if we started the season again with his exact team as it is now,
he'd be winning. He wouldn't be on the bottom.
Oh,
No, and he had players. I had players miss games. He had players miss games. Like Vucevic missed 2, and Dragic missed 1. So yeah, he has a pretty good team. Isaiah Thomas is really good for him at the moment. Thaddeus Young had 10 steals for the week.
Yeah,
playing really good. Andrew Wiggins he's been very good. Wilson Chandler's good. Tony Parker had a massive week against me. He has some pretty good players for him. Mike Conley, Batum's played the week of his life against me. Jared Jack had 18 assists. So yeah, he wouldn't be on the bottom at the base at the moment.
Do you feel good knowing that you've got the King back on your team?
LeBron? Yeah. I mean, it's just shake it up a bit. Needed to I don't know. LeBron, Clay's pretty good, but I'm just trying to depends on the matchup,
Yeah.
Just went strategy wise, maybe.
What people were sort of questioning was his 2-game final, but what they don't understand.
3 game, isn't it? Or was it 2?
2-game final.
In the
But
final.
what they don't understand is around our playoff schedule is around the time where in normal season in NBA, players are rested.
Yeah.
So, and even said that, I'd prefer a 2-game week out of LeBron than say a 3-game week out of Tim Duncan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that sort of isn't a big factor as much as what people thought it was.
How do you follow the stat? I mean, you could have a guy that has 4 games, but because he's got 4 games, Atlanta's just going to bench Jeff Teague or Al Horford. They're not going to play him 4 games.
No.
So they might play him 3, or they might play him 2.
And
With
with LeBron having 2 games, coach isn't going to sit in one because he needs to get into some form for playoffs.
I wasn't worried about that at all.
Just knowing when I was trying to flog him for people. That was sort of the response I was getting about the two game week. So I'm not going to undersell him.
That's 2 games for what, 1 week or 2 weeks of the finals, is it? 1 week. So if I make the grand final,
then you see what happens.
You can't think that far ahead, about how many games I'll have for that final.
Yeah.
Nah. Maybe a top 2 team can think that far ahead, but not 3rd or 4th that's playing elimination games.
Gallinari. Be happy with him with your Nurkic trade. He had a good week.
I mean, didn't know much to lose at that point of the season. Waiver player that's running hot. He's cooled down a little bit his last 2 games, so unfortunately, hopefully that doesn't continue. But
can you see Parsons being that X factor for your side going forward into the finals?
Yeah,
he didn't play for the last week and a bit.
Yeah, no, I've been really
just
hoping and waiting, and obviously, I'm happy with how my team's gone, but I haven't had a win in 3 weeks. I've had 2 losses and a draw, but it's been 4 categories, 4.5 and 4. So carrying Parsons for most of that time. Yeah, I'm hoping that he helps bring some stability if another player has to miss. So you want to be full strength. So
that's right. Yeah.
All right. So we've gone through the matchups. We're going to go through our review quickly. Try and keep it under 10 minutes here of Josh. So pretty much.
Flip on Franks and Beans.
Yeah, Josh took with his first pick. He took Steph Curry, and Steph Curry is pretty much one of the hottest players in the league going around. Potential MVP. But Josh's season hasn't been anything like MVP.
No.
He faces looking at the bottom. Just go to schedule on that there, and then click on Josh. Yeah. So he started off. I think you gave him spanking round 2 from memory. You could Toby there.
Did I? Sorry.
Yeah. So oh man, you spanked Josh 8-1. Or did no? Yeah. So you beat Josh 8-1. Josh lost the first 4 games of the year, start of the year. So it's not a good start to the season. In that time, I don't think he made many waiver moves as well. So,
no, but he also had injuries to...
He had a lot of injuries.
He had injuries to Thaddeus Young, David Lee, which he probably should have dropped a hell of a lot earlier than what he did. How many other injuries did he have? I think he had at least 5 to 7 players injured or missing games.
Yeah, so his team was rat shit very early. And yeah, that was pretty much...
Then after that win against
Willow 5-4.
He then went on another 3-game losing streak.
So he lost to Nelson, Nick, and myself. So he lost to basically the top 4.
Only getting 2 cats in each of those
3 weeks. And I think I said last year, just 3 weeks, 3 7-2s can end your season.
I was sitting second, and I had 3 7-2s, and that's it.
Put that in his 8-1 loss to yourself, and he's pretty much almost written off his season there by week 9. And he had a win week 9 to stabilise, but he followed it up with 3 more losses to Joel, Luke, and Gav. So it's been a real bad season for Josh. Just look at the last 4 weeks though. So he's won 2 out of the last 5, but he did have a 3 week losing span.
Did you want me to look at his actual draft? Because I can fire that up.
Yeah, fire up his draft. Go to draft. There.
Where are we? Draft.
And then go to draft results. Yeah. And then click on the team. Yeah. Yeah, so just go down to Josh. So he took Steph Curry first, which is a good pick. Happy with that.
Nicholas Batum was injured for a while, wasn't he?
Don't know if you take Nicholas Batum second. I think you got Bosch, Ibaka. Well, I reach a lot, so maybe just say Ibaka. Lowry, Irving even, who had a quiet start to the year, but still much better than Batum overall. Blake. And then he took Dragic third over the likes of... Yeah, so he could have probably maybe had Steph. Could have gone Steph Curry, Ibaka, DeAndre Jordan. Oh, no, that's Dusty free throw, but he could have had a good pairing of bigs with Steph, and then you just load up in threes and points.
And you look at his low end. Evan Turner, most of the season spent on the waiver. OJ Mayo, most of the season spent on the waiver. Gallinari, with his injuries, he spent most of the...
Good picking Ginobili and Chandler and Jordan Hill.
At this point in the season, at this point of his career, would you have picked Tony Parker at round 8 when, just say, for instance, you could have had...
Well, I took Chalmers, so round 8, and Tyson Chandler was Gavs, and yeah, so there wasn't a lot of stars going around. Round 8's pretty deep.
93. I'm just looking at some other...
J.R. Smith, Terrence Jones, Farlow, Giannis, Joe Johnson, Peck.
So he picked Tony Parker after Jimmy Butler, like the next pick he picked.
No. That was round 7.
Yeah, but
he took Parker 8.
Yeah, but mine was 82 and his was 83.
Yeah, so a lot of people missed out on Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
Anyways, where's his team again?
So trading wise though, I think credit to himself. I think around halfway to the year he made a trade with myself and Joel. And I think since then at least he's been more competitive.
He's competitive, yeah.
He's still had he's won 2 out of the last 5. He still has his 3-game losing streak not too long ago.
Yeah. Hasn't
solved his problem, but he's been much more competitive on the categories and clawed his way back at least somewhat. So at least he's gotten I think maybe a lesson learned, and also, from a guy that doesn't trade much, maybe finding hey, I was in a pretty bad spot, and if I can win a trade, then I can, potentially also help my team that way. So maybe Josh might be a bit more active on the trades next year. I don't know.
Having said that, he was a lot more active this year than he has been in previous years.
Yeah.
Talking to managers and
Definitely.
all that sort of stuff. So if we're to give grades, what grade would you give him on his draft?
Well, obviously Steph and Pau Gasol at pick 5 are his best. He doesn't have much around that. I would have probably gone with a big with his pick 2nd, knowing that points and 3 have been in abundance this year. So maybe taking a big and trying to manage Steph's free throw during the season. I don't think you can always make moves and reschedule your categories around that. So I wouldn't, just because Steph is so good in his free throw, I wouldn't rule out a DeAndre pairing with an Ibaka in your first three rounds. I mean, you can be really competitive in the rebounds and blocks and field goals still, and you're going to have Steph who's a leading points and threes, and you can find an abundance of points and threes. So,
if you give a grade,
it's hard to grade.
C?
I mean, I've probably go a C or a C minus. I mean, I think maybe caught out a little bit. I think maybe the year before you pretty much had your team and you can sit on it the whole year and really not do anything. And it worked and it was great. And then this year, that strategy of kind of like just sitting on what you got, it was never going to work. And people were kind of crying wolf saying, you better trade, hey, you better move your team or it's going to be 40 categories down. He made, to his credit, he changed, I think. He made some moves and it was a little
So grading on trades?
I'm not going to grade everything individually. I think it was just a good sign that he traded and obviously a lesson learned maybe as far as sitting on a team. I mean, this is a very, very competitive league. If you sit, you can be left in the dust.
Yeah. Do you think I think probably what he needs to do a lot is actually be more competitive in picking up waivers.
Oh, 100%.
So I'd give that grade.
You don't need to trade. You don't have to trade. I mean, but
there are so many people that you can pick up off the waiver.
Whiteside, Gobert, Covington. I mean, you can go into lesser players like Terrence Jones and J.R. Smith. I mean, this year has had Alex Len,
Mo Williams.
There's been so many waiver players this year. It's unbelievable. That's not good. Obviously, when the clouds fall beneath the sky and interrupt the spice like that, I didn't like that.
No, I didn't like that either. We might need to get some contractors in to fix the hole in the walls.
It's just getting hot in here and it's getting humid. We'll wrap that up with Josh. Overall, you wanted to go through the grades, I guess. So, you know what? I had a second thought about it. It's a pretty good idea. So, what were we grading him on?
Draft.
All right.
C.
So, draft.
Draft is C, I reckon.
I'll go D plus.
D plus.
I reckon he's in a good spot there. He could have done something else other than Batum and Dragic.
Some of the earlier picks, though, can be a little bit tricky to deal with waiting so long for your second pick.
Especially fun picks as well. I feel like your first 3 are like the most enjoyable picks as far as
if you draft
your
right.
popcorn kind of.
If you draft right.
If you draft I like your one, John Wall and Lillard.
Yeah.
I mean, Gavin's one I think was a couple of bigs.
He had Carmelo and Serge, and then
Serge and Howard. I like those 3.
Yeah.
Even DeMarcus Irving and maybe someone other than Conley for Downey. I like that one. Love Nick's one of Westbrook, Blake, and Bledsoe. Joel's one, Harden, Lowry, and Marcus Gasol was really good value. So that was that. I like that one as well. Lowry's an animal.
We can cover them.
Yeah, I just thought his first 3 could have been a bit better.
Yeah.
And maybe his middle draft could have been a bit better as well.
Yeah.
He definitely had some good picks in there. In Gasol and Steph, so I'll give him a D plus. Obviously, with pick 4, Steph was almost a formality, so you can't.
I'm giving his trades a C plus, and why I wouldn't be giving him higher because I did like the trades that he did make, but he didn't make enough of them to change the season.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a B, just the fact that it's Josh and he doesn't normally trade. So I'm going to give him
Bit of
extra.
that factor.
I'll give him extra marks, and that's how people do all the best in footy and great people. They're great people on themselves. So I'm going to for Josh. I reckon that Josh has got a B.
And waiver?
I don't know much about Josh's waiver ads. I might give him a D.
I don't
D
think
plus,
he ever got
D.
waiver of the week. I don't think he made too many ads or
Yeah,
right
he
ads.
needs to in the off season improve his waiver ads, which, mind you, only makes it harder for myself, and yourself, and Joel, and everyone else and Gavin and Nick, everyone else who uses the waiver. It only makes it harder for me to just rock up during the week and just go bang, 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 and resurrect my season. So, it's only going to make it hard for me. But I reckon Josh needs to have a look at being more active on the waiver wire and almost confirm that, hey, if I can get good deals that put my strategy in place, then go with the trades as well.
Doesn't take that much to actually to have a good season the next season if you.
Yeah, I mean the draft sets you up a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get out of the game.
But even so, you can even draft a really good side, and then all of a sudden there's some injuries happen.
There's a lot of luck involved in the game, but at the same time, you can control how active you are on those two fronts that we covered. They're the things you can control.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on from Josh, and we'll have a look at the waiver of the week. Funny enough, and I was a bit biased. We'll have to double check Bagani as well. But
how long's Bagani been picked up for?
I think Gav got him at the start of the week, but I think Meritic has got him. I've learned his name now after. He was my most entertaining player to follow in the box scores this week.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
31 minutes, ranked 62nd on the week. 85 foul shots, 1.3 threes, 19.5 points, 6.8 rebounds.
Yeah.
1.3 blocks and nearly a steal. So
he was pretty exciting to watch this week. He shot the ball pretty bad, field goal wise, but his free throw was absolutely elite. 85%
on 10
attempts. So
nearly 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5 attempts. So he really affected my free throw for me this week and helped in that area. Great that I took Tony Snell and Meritic, and Meritic worked out. So another good idea to just grab them both
and see what happens.
And keep the best one. Top 10 players.
Anthony Davis.
Unfortunately for Luke, he faced Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis bounced back.
Rank 1.
Rank 1. Averaged 5.5 blocks. That's going to really...
And 30 and 12.
Yeah, a steal and 81% free throw on 5 attempts and 54% field goal. Yeah, you get number 1. Oladipo and Westbrook have done it for Nick to keep the win streak alive. So I thought Joel might get him, but Nick's stayed alive. And
if you have 2 players in the top 3 for the week, you're going to be pretty stiff not to win.
Does Westbrook come off the court? He's averaging 40 minutes over those 3 games. He's playing a phenomenal amount of minutes.
And you know what? My opinion on Westbrook's slightly changed a little bit.
It has changed with me as well.
Because I just don't like the way he plays, but of recent time he's actually playing a lot better.
This is the best we've seen him. Can you see what he's averaging for the week?
Yeah, 40.7.
What is his usage rate?
11.3, 3 steals. The turnovers aren't that great, but 11.3 assists. I don't think I'd ever really say.
I think you'd take
you'd take. Yeah, you'd even take 9.
James Harden got 4th. Nelson would be enjoying the services of his boy Chris Paul, 5th. Batum.
Where did he come from this week?
Yeah, Batum decided he was playing Curry, and he got 6. He was very good this week, but a lackluster season.
Having said that, Wesley Matthews went down, so that probably helps Batum's scores this week.
Yep. Leonard 7th. For Willow. Draymond Green again.
Who would have thought we'd be speaking about him every week in the top 10?
Draft of the year. 8th.
Yeah.
Michael, I think it's undeniable now.
No.
Inevitable.
You can't choose anyone else.
Steph Curry rounds off Joel's 3rd player in the top 10 at 9. And Deficit Taxter's Middleton has a very, very hot week.
Was trying to push for him in a LeBron trade. I was trying to get Chris Middleton, but Luke never got back onto me. So,
all right. So we're going to look at the matchups this week and what that bodes for the playoffs looking ahead. We're almost there, guys. So we've got yourself versus Downing playing off for ninth. So I reckon you're Richmond. I reckon you'll keep ninth. No rebuttal. Now I'm playing Joel. Interesting game. It's funny because it's like I've been tuning up for Joel for a while, but I just don't know. I looked at my I literally am Leighton Hewitt. I'm the guy who's won a Grand Slam a long time ago and turns up to the Australian Open very often and just hasn't quite taken down any of the big dogs.
Yeah.
Joel's probably Federer, and here I am again lining up against him in a tune-up match before finals. So it's just, as I said, it's a tune-up match. So it's a little bit of Formula One testing this week. I'm not sure whether I'll win. I'll leave you with the tips.
Not really looking too in-depthly in terms of who's players
Obviously,
you got.
Joel
Yeah.
hasn't confirmed Durant back this week, so
I'm gonna stick with you, Sean.
I'd love to get a win to end the season. But
Not counting out Joel, but I
moves.
reckon Joel's sort of moulding his team.
I haven't made any
players,
waiver ads as well, by the way, yet, which means that I'm thinking ahead as well. But I could potentially not win in the last 5 weeks, Michael. I haven't won the last 3, drawn 1. If I lost to Joel, that would be 4 weeks without a win. And if I went straight out in the finals, that'd be 5 weeks without a win.
And yet you're there.
And yet I'm there. But I've got 4 categories every week, which confirmed my theory, I reckon, that as long as you just get your 4s, other people get 3s and 2s, they're falling behind.
That's why where a lot of people were talking about my draft is I think people thought that I was really good in 4 or 5 cats, but they didn't think that I had an even spread of everything. But that's what I did the season prior, and I was horrible.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way I went this year, and I won't talk too much about draft strategy.
Yeah.
All right, Death and Taxes play basketball. So Death and Taxes need to win this to give them every chance to win. They'll need to rely on standings. But I think Death and Taxes, Luke, is the only one with an outside chance of making finals. I think Gavin's done.
Do you think that certain teams playing certain teams will manipulate cats to get certain team back into the finals to have an easier match?
If that situation is controllable and manipulable, then you'd have to consider it, I reckon.
There's
nothing wrong
is that
with
league approved?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
So you're allowed to tank a match up?
it's very hard to tank a matchup plus rely on other results as well.
Well, you can't get on another manager and go, look.
I'm sure it's not going that far, and I'm sure Nick's trying to get second anyway.
Yeah.
Get the week off. So I think the incentive there is get the week off. So it's a very hypothetical conversation.
Yeah.
That one. Next one is Gavin plays Nelson at the wrong time, so I think Nelson will take this one pretty easily. Possibly a 6 or 7-2 win here for Nelson. With Anthony Davis back, it just doesn't bode well for Gavin. He'll probably go down with the ship. Dwight will probably stay on his team to prevent anyone from picking him up, I'd assume. And in simple terms, the captain will go down with the ship almost. We know the saying. I think that's Gavin. He'll roll the dice, obviously give it a chance, but I think it's the last roll for Gav.
Yeah.
Benno's baller versus Willow. An upset here could put Willow's momentum on ice. Ben, I mean, you could still influence the finals.
Yeah.
So maybe he could get something out of that from this week, and you'd think Willow would find a way to win this one.
Yeah, to keep that ball rolling.
Josh plays his brother Toby in their derby, and Toby will be looking to just get a win here and just 5 or 6-3 and just get himself into the finals here. Just play this smartly and not give up the game and not fall behind and just make the right moves if necessary to just make sure he gets the win. Bit of brotherly love there, mate. So he could give a phone call to Josh and just say, "Hey, mate,
hook me up.
Just take it a bit easy this week, easier.
Drop your players."
So, guys, this is it. We won't see you again till the playoffs. So by then, we'll have the matchups for you. We do know that most likely Joel definitely has the week off, and that Nelson has a good chance of securing second spot playing Gavin this week, with Luke the tougher matchup for Nick. So potentially it will be either Nelson or Nick with that week off as well. But I'm leaning towards Nelson securing that with that 2-category lead and playing Gavin.
Yeah.
He should have enough leverage there to, despite how Nick would have to win 9-8-1 at least.
Can I just touch on something I've just looked at? Look at the moves made. Josh has made only 17.
Oh.
And then you've got...
Yeah, so Joel, what did I give him for the waivers? D or something?
Yeah.
For the grade?
Yeah, and Joel's made 62.
Yeah.
You've made 78.
Yeah,
I've made 74.
Yeah, obviously I'm a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But that's how I play waivers. But so we've got myself.
Does that moves include trades as well?
No.
No, just waiver
Just
ads.
waiver moves. So 78 for myself.
I'm second in ads.
And I've still got 4 left. So it could be 82. Joel's onto it, he knows.
Yeah.
And 78, 74. And Joel's very active on the wire. 62. And then your next ones are basically Gavin, 57. And then you've got 3 guys on 47, 47, Nick and Nelson, and 48, Willow. So your least active ones are Toby, who's in the finals at 6. Then Luke is very, very inactive as well, 8th. Then Downing, 10th. Then Ben, 11th. And then obviously Josh with the lowest, 12th. So 5 of the 6 lowest waiver moves are in the outside the finals. So there is obviously an element where you can improve your side a fair bit by using the waiver wire. Obviously myself and you are an extreme, and to an extent Joel, we make a lot of moves. But obviously somewhere around that, you probably want to have around 45 to 50 moves for the year.
Yeah.
As far as activity there. So if you
make the right move on the last day, it can win you a matchup.
If you're under 45, you've probably carried someone too long, I reckon. Yeah. You must have. There must be someone you can look at that you've carried too long if you're under 45 moves. Easy. Yeah. That's it, guys. Enjoy the week, the last week of the regular season.
Good luck, and we'll see you playoffs.